In this video, it will be explained how to calculate the area of a circle. The area of a circle is pi r squared. So it's pi, which is about 3.14 times the radius squared, meaning the radius times pi. As shown in the image here, the distance all the way across the circle, the red line, is the diameter, and half of the diameter is the radius. So the distance from the edge to the center of a circle is the radius. So let's do an example calculation. For a circle with a diameter of 4 centimeters, what is the area? Well, the area is pi r squared. So the area is 3.14, which is pi, times the radius squared. If the diameter was 4, then the radius is half of that, or 2. And 2 squared is 2 times 2. So the area of this circle with a diameter of 4 would be 3.14 times 2 times 2. And that equals 12.56 centimeters squared. Now let's consider a real-world application of this sort of math. Let's think about pizzas and consider whether ordering a small, a medium, or a large pizza gives you the best deal. So it varies based upon which pizza restaurant you look at, but these are fairly typical pricing levels. I looked at a couple of restaurants nearby, and they both agreed pretty closely. This was pretty close to what was seen at each restaurant. Okay, so what we have here in the table is the size in the left-hand column, small, medium, or large, and then how much one would pay for that in US dollars, and then the diameter. So when the size of the pizza is given at the restaurant, it's given as a diameter. So an 8-inch pizza being a small would mean that the diameter is 8 inches. So the next column over is radius, which is half of the diameter. And remember, area is pi r squared. So we can just calculate the area by multiplying the radius times itself, and then multiplying that times pi. And then we would get the area in square inches. And then we can calculate how much do we need to pay per square inch on that pizza to consider whether or not we're getting a good deal or not. So the first thing to notice here is that the diameters don't look terribly different from each other between the different pizza sizes. When we look at the cost for each pizza and we look at the diameter, it seems pretty reasonable. It seems like the cost is scaled to the diameter in a pretty reasonable way. Nothing looks like a terrible deal to me when I look at that cost and that diameter. But then when we look at the area, a different picture emerges. So comparing if we look within the red oval that's circling the different diameters, we can see that if we compare a small and a large, that there's less than a twofold difference between 8 and 14. But then if we look over in the numbers that are encircled by the green oval, the area, we see that there's a more drastic difference between the different sizes. And we're paying for the area of a pizza, right? How much pizza we get to eat is based upon the surface area, not the diameter. And since the radius gets squared, any small differences in diameter or radius between different pizza sizes, they get magnified when we square that radius. So even though there's less than a twofold difference in diameter between the small and the large pizza, there's approximately a threefold difference in the area between the small and the large. As we can see, it's 52 versus 154. And when we look in the column to the right, in the final column here, in the cost per square inch, we see that a medium and a large are not that different of a deal from one another. So the medium costs about 11 cents per square inch, and the large costs about 9 cents per square inch. But look what's going on with the small. It's much more expensive per unit pizza, or it'd be much more expensive per bite, almost double the cost of a large if we ordered a small. So for a small pizza, we'd be spending about 17 cents per square inch, whereas for a medium or a large, it's closer to about 10 cents per square inch. So small pizzas are clearly overpriced. And this is a real world application of the calculation of the area of a circle. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, please consider clicking the like button and subscribing to our channel.